Let me ask you something honest. Have you ever watched a girl walk past a guy who's tall, good-looking, well-dressed? Basically everything society tells you women want, and she barely even blinked? But then, 15 minutes later, you see her completely locked in on some other guy. Not taller, not richer, not more handsome. And she's laughing. She's leaning in. She can't take her eyes off him. And you're standing there thinking, what does he have that the other guy didn't? Here's the thing nobody talks about. Women are attracted to things they can't fully explain. And because they can't explain it, they won't admit it. Not to their friends. Not to their moms. Definitely not out loud. Because the types of men that actually pull at something deep inside a woman, they don't always fit the checklist. They don't always make logical sense. And admitting it feels vulnerable in a way most women aren't ready for. So today we're going there. We're pulling back the curtain on the 5 types of men that women are secretly, deeply, undeniably drawn to, but will never admit. Not because they're ashamed, but because some things feel too real to say out loud. Let's get into it. Number 1. The man who doesn't need her approval. Let me paint you a picture. She posts something. Most guys react within seconds. Heart emoji. Fire emoji. You look amazing. And she smiles, maybe says thanks and moves on. But it doesn't do anything to her. Then there's this one guy. He sees it. He doesn't react. Or maybe he does, later casually with something like, that color looks good on you. Not desperate. Not performing. And suddenly she's thinking about him. Because women are surrounded, constantly surrounded, by men who need something from them. Validation. Attention. A response. A sign that they're good enough. And it's exhausting. Even when she doesn't say it, she feels the weight of it. It all comes with invisible strings attached. But the man who doesn't need her approval? He feels different. He feels like relief. Here's the psychology behind it. When someone seeks your validation, you automatically hold the power. And power is comfortable at first, but it's not attractive long-term. Because deep down, a woman doesn't want to be the ceiling of a man's confidence. She wants to be with a man whose confidence already has a foundation she didn't build and can't shake. The guy who doesn't need her to respond, doesn't need her to laugh at his joke, doesn't need her to confirm he's attractive. That guy feels uncontrollable. And uncontrollable is magnetic. She won't admit this because it sounds cold. It sounds like she's attracted to someone who doesn't care. But that's not it. It's not that he doesn't care. It's that he doesn't need. There's a difference. And she feels that difference in her chest before her brain even catches up. Number 2. The man who is genuinely passionate about something that has nothing to do with her. This one is underrated. She's talking to a guy. Normal conversation, pretty standard. Then he starts talking about something he loves. Maybe it's music. Maybe it's building cars. Maybe it's some obscure philosophy he's been reading. Doesn't matter what it is. What matters is how he talks about it. His eyes change. His voice gets a different energy. Not because she suddenly loves music or cars or philosophy, but because passion is one of the rarest things a person can show another person. Most people walk through life on autopilot. They like things. They do things. But they're not lit up by things. And when she sits across from a man who is genuinely, deeply on fire for something, it does something to her that she can't explain at dinner with her friends. She can't say, I'm attracted to him because he cares about woodworking. That sounds ridiculous out loud. But what she's actually attracted to is the evidence of a man who has an internal world. A life that isn't constructed around her. A depth that she hasn't fully seen yet. That mystery, the feeling that there is more to him, is one of the most powerful hooks that exists in attraction. And it comes entirely from him just being a man who gives a damn about something real. If you're passionate about your craft, your art, your work, your training, your growth, don't hide that to seem chill. Let her see it. That fire is not a weakness. That fire is the whole thing. Number 3. The man who makes her feel seen without trying to impress her. Here's a moment most guys don't understand the weight of. She says something offhand. Something small. Something she almost threw away mid-sentence. And later, maybe an hour later, maybe a week later, he brings it back. Not to show off that he was listening. Not to earn points. Just naturally, like it stuck with him because it actually did. In that moment, something shifts in her. Because here's what women live with that they rarely say. Most people are listening to respond. They're waiting for a gap in the conversation to say their thing. And she knows this. She feels it every single time. So most conversations, even good ones, have this thin layer of performance under them. Everybody is half present. The man who actually listens, who catches the thing she said quietly, who remembers the details she mentioned once and never repeated, who asks the follow-up question 3 days later, that man feels like a completely different species. And the dangerous part? He's not doing it as a technique. He's doing it because he's actually curious about her. Not her body. Not the version of her that exists for public consumption. The real thoughts, the small contradictions, the things she doesn't fully understand about herself yet. Women are taught from a young age that being truly known is risky. Because if someone really sees you and then leaves, that's a different kind of hurt. So most women keep a layer. They perform slightly even when they think they're being real. But the man who cuts through that layer, not forcefully, not with some magic line, but just by being genuinely, quietly, deeply attentive, she doesn't have a defense for that. She doesn't tell her friends because she can't fully articulate it. She just knows she wants to be around him again. Number 4. The man who can handle her emotions without drowning in them. This is the one she will almost never admit out loud. Because admitting it means admitting something uncomfortable about herself. Women have storms. Emotional weather systems that move in fast, hit hard, and sometimes don't have a clean explanation. She's irritable for a reason she can't fully name. She's anxious about something that sounds small. Most men do one of two things. They either panic and try to fix it immediately, running solutions, offering logic, getting frustrated when logic doesn't work, or they shut down. They get distant. They wait for the storm to pass and hope they survive it. Both responses make her feel more alone. But every once in a while, she meets a man who does something different. He doesn't fix it. He doesn't run from it. He just stays, not dazed by it, not swept into it. Like a tree in wind, he bends slightly, but the roots don't move. He might say something simple. He might say nothing at all. But his energy communicates something her nervous system desperately needed to hear. I'm not going anywhere. This doesn't scare me. You don't have to manage yourself for me. That feeling of being emotional without being punished for it, of being a lot without being too much, is one of the deepest forms of safety a woman can feel with a man. And safety, real safety, is one of the most powerful drivers of deep attraction. She won't say, I'm attracted to him because he doesn't freak out when I cry. But that's exactly what it is. Emotional steadiness is not boring. It's not weakness. It is quietly one of the most powerful things a man can offer. Number 5. The man who is clearly going somewhere and doesn't need her to come. This is the last one. And this is the one that operates on the deepest level. She meets a man with direction. Not a man who talks about his goals. Not a man who posts about his grind. A man who is simply, visibly, undeniably moving. You can feel it in how he talks about his time. How he's not always available. How when he is present, he's fully present because he chose to be, not because he had nothing else. How he has a vision that he's already in motion toward, with or without anyone watching. And here's the part she won't say. She wants to be invited into that world. Not needed in it. Invited into it. There is a fundamental difference in how it feels to be needed versus how it feels to be chosen. A man who needs a woman to complete his sense of purpose. That is not flattering, even though society told us it should be. It's pressure. It's the slow realization that she is responsible for his happiness, and that is a job nobody agreed to take. But a man who already has a purpose, who has a life that is real and full and moving, and who looks at her and says, consciously or not, I want you in this story, but I'm writing it either way, that is intoxicating. Because she is not the destination. She is the person he chose to walk beside. And being chosen by a man like that means something completely different. But she wants to be loved by someone who is already whole. Not someone looking for her to make him whole. A man with direction doesn't chase. He doesn't beg. He doesn't perform. He just moves. And something primal in her responds to that movement with one single thought she'll never say out loud. I want to be near that. Here's the truth, and I'll leave you with this. None of these types are about being cold. None of them are about playing games or making her feel small. Every single one of these types comes down to one thing. A man who has built something real inside himself. A man who is grounded, alive, present, and moving. That's what she's secretly attracted to. Not the performance of confidence. The actual substance underneath it. You can't fake these things long term, but you can build them. And when you do, You won't need to chase anything. The attraction finds you. If you watched this and thought, okay, but how do I actually become this guy? I got you. The next video breaks down the exact daily habits that build this kind of presence from the inside out. Not surface level tips. Go watch it.